NYPD sources say the suspect is Jesse Bruce Pinkman, a local man who was a student of Light's before joining him in the drug trade.
You ready?
You spent 6 years being Jesse Pinkman, and I suppose you had a process to say goodbye to him. What was it like coming back to this character, zipping on the skin again 6 years later, especially emotionally, but even physically, because you're different now, right?
Yeah. It was interesting. I did say goodbye to this guy so long ago, but it was, revisiting an old, close, damaged friend. And so it was nice to sort of get comfortable with that skin again and continue on this journey. So yeah, it was beautiful. This really, you see a different side of Jesse than you've ever seen before. You saw sort of a glimpse of it at the end of Breaking Bad, where you notice him for the first time with all the scars all over his face, and you realize that he's just been utterly tortured for the past 6 months inside of a concrete hole and being forced to cook a drug that completely destroyed his life. This entire film, he's just in such a different headspace. He's already been so damaged, but he's just damaged in a way that we've never seen him before. And so that was a sort of an interesting take, but for me, it was incredibly easy to kind of zip on that skin and kind of understand where he's coming from.
Sources speculate the two had a falling out, after which it is believed Pinkman was manufacturing the drug.
Go for Joe.
Captive. Police are now on the hunt for Pinkman and urging the community to remain vigilant. The rest of the
Yeah, I know who this is.
Breaking Bad is considered a masterpiece. Were you concerned that extending this universe beyond its end could risk tarnishing the legacy of the show?
To be honest, I was not concerned at all, just because it's Vince Gilligan, our creator. If it was somebody else trying to take a swing at this, then yeah, I would be concerned. But I trust Vince with my life, I truly do, and so he's not going to do this for no reason. He cares about Breaking Bad more than anyone on this planet, more than the biggest fan on this planet, and so he doesn't want to tarnish this legacy. That's the last thing he wants to do. He told me when he planted this seed in my head years ago, he's like, I have this idea, are you on board if I crack it? I say yes. He's like, look, I don't want to do this unless it's perfect, so let me just try and I'll get back to you. And then cut to 7 months later, he's like, I think it's pretty perfect, man.
And what about all the secrets around the film? How did you deal with all the suspicions around it? Have some kind of cover story for production?
I did. You know what? To be honest, that was the easiest thing. It was so easy for me to keep it a secret. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. It's fun to kind of just drop it out of nowhere, which we pretty much did. But yeah, when we were shooting in New Mexico, I just lied to everybody that, people would come up to me and ask me what I was doing there, and I would just say I was doing a passion, indie project, and no one second guessed it. No one assumed, oh, this has got to be a Breaking Bad movie. They shoot so much out in New Mexico. There's always projects out there. Maybe a couple people thought that I was doing Better Call Saul, but I would tell them that they're on hiatus, and sadly I can't even say hi to them, and that was it. No one second guessed anything.
Whoa.